Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day on PulseChain and crypto. We're going to have a fun today going through the markets. Now, obviously, we've still got geopolitical risks, still got the whales hitting PulseChain. So there are opportunities to be made, but of course, you have to wait till the markets recover as well. Hopefully, next week will be pretty bullish, although this geopolitical risk could be pretty big. Obviously, if there is an attack on the last nuclear silo furlough, and so we'll see how that goes. If you are new, of course, to the channel, don't forget to share the show on X. Just hit the link there and repost. That'd be really, really great if you're on YouTube as well, and likewise. So let's get straight into the show. We've got lots of news today. So we're going to be talking about lots of different teams and stuff that's happening on PulseChain. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And also big news around the Ethereum Strategic Reserve also. So I hope you guys enjoy some of that content as well. All right, without further ado, we got some big updates happening, big updates. So let me jump over to that as well. Let me just reorganize this setup, and we're going to go for gold. Let's get straight into the crypto markets, and we might go full screen, are we? Are we going to go full screen? We are. All right, get into the chat there as well. Make it lively. We've got Brennan in the house. How super crazy times we live in at the moment. It is crazy times. We're kind of at the precipice of greatness, but we've got these big issues being dealt with at the same time. It's pretty crazy. And then we've got whales splashing around on PulseChain. All right, let's see where we are. We've got the crypto market at the moment, $3.37 trillion, down 2.2% today. Remember, there are 17,491 coins listed on CoinGecko, just to give you an idea how many coins. Bitcoin at the moment holding pretty strong, though. Kind of ignoring the geopolitical risks around Iran, and Bitcoin there sitting at $104,690, down 0.2%. Ethereum there is at 2,522. It's pretty much flat at the moment. And we've got XRP at number 4, down 0.2%, $2.17. BNB at number 5, down 0.1% at $644. Solana at number 6 is up 0.5%. So Solana actually up slightly, $147. And what else we got there? We got Tron at the moment, number 8 is up 0.6% at 27.5 cents. We got Dogecoin there, number 9 is up 0.3%. And we got Lido staked ETH there sitting flat, obviously, with Ethereum at $2,522. And of course, Cardano has been flicked out of the top 10, sitting down at 0.3% today at 60 cents. Those are the marks. And of course, I've got to give a mention to a pretty hot performer recently, which has been Hyperliquid, although it is down 9.3% over the last week. Now, the top 10, the best performer over the last 24 hours, well, they're all pretty much, flat. So I guess Solana, Tron takes the winner, actually. It's up 0.6% and then followed by Solana. Over the last 7 days, best performer has been Tron, up 1.1%. Everything else is pretty much down. So that is that. All right, let's look at the top 100, see how that's going. Well, we got White Bitcoin still is the dominant winner, and this is up 44.8%. And then we've got AB up 31%, and then Bitcoin Cash is up 16.8%, followed by Kaya, number 4, up 12.3%, and SeiChain or SuChain, depending on how you say it, is up 4.8%. Those are the top 5 out of the top 100 at the moment. Now, trending at the moment, we've got Namada trending up 70%, Forta trending 54%. Top gainers, these are top gainers. Namada up 70%, Forta up 54%, and Neem up 18% there. Let's have a quick look at some of these. Namada in the house. Okay, so let's have a look at this chart. It's pretty brand new if one looks at 19th of June. Pretty brand new chart. And this is out and about, so no wonder it's finding some price discovery. Let's have a look at the website quickly. Okay, interesting website. Composable privacy layer. Okay, well, if it's a privacy, it'll be pretty popular. Unified shield set, get rewards, shield actions, IBC, interoperability, staking, and governance. get started. So actually, that's a fairly intuitive sort of site. The website's a bit different. Communities and developers, ecosystem as well. There's the ecosystem. So okay, pretty interesting. All right, so that's probably something worth checking out. Looks pretty interesting. That's looks like it's just been launched. If this is right here as well, so it might be something worth checking out. What was the thing I was going? It's ranked number 805. 805 is the old Namada coin that is trending at the moment. Might be still getting in on that early. They have to do due diligence. Not really sure of all the backgrounds behind it, apart from their website looks kind of cool. And it's based got some privacy aspects to it. We've got Forda there at the moment, up 55%. Let's see what that is doing at the moment. It's ranked number 633. It's been around a bit longer. Looks like it's been around since June 2022. So what's that? 3 years. 3 years, and it looks like it's just coming off the bottom at the moment. Just bouncing off the bottom there. Was down at 6.3 cents. It's now up at 10 cents. Is it? Yeah, 10 cents. Forda is a leading decentralized security solution for Web3, backed by major players like Coinbase, providing AI-powered real-time threat prevention for DeFi. So they're having a bit of a bounce off the bottom. Maybe they've had some news today. Maybe we're checking out 633 ranking. And finally, we got Neem there, up 20%. That's top gainers. That's sitting at 755. And that's the chart doesn't look too good, does it? But it's been around since 2015, a long time. In fact, that's probably why it seems familiar to me. But it is down at the 0.5% at the moment, and yeah, it's down onto every time frame except 24 hours. So it was a blockchain launched in March 2015. One of the pioneers of the industry. I wonder why I knew the name, but I just couldn't pick it. I haven't been spending much time on that thing. And that chart is probably why. Right? But that is trending at the moment, top gainers. At the moment, trending coins. We've got PulseChain from Telegram, Notcoin, and Lambo all trending. And I think Lambo and PulseChain, were they trending yesterday? I think they were. So that is the mark on crypto. So yeah, down 2.2%, but Bitcoin's pretty flat, 104,690, and Ethereum there, not too bad, 2,500, pretty flat as well. And we're holding over 100K, so very good sign that once we get maybe the Iranian geopolitics out of the way, that we can really start to move up. That is the key there. Now, I want to move into PulseChain, but before we do that, we're going to sort of bridging between Ethereum, and that is Ethereum Strategic Reserve hit 1% of supply as corporate adoption accelerates. So this is kind of cool. And PulseChain is in the news. So this is crypto.news. And top institution holders dominate Ethereum strategic reserves, with the Ethereum Foundation leading the pack. Corporate Bitcoin strategic reserves have been a major trend in the past few months. However, Ethereum is slowly catching up. On June the 19th, strategic reserves among institutions rose 1.19 million ETH, according to the Strategic ETH Reserves website. These reserves worth almost $3 billion, amount to more than 1% of the total ETH supply. So you can see the ETH reserves there climbing. Top holders dominate these reserves, with the 5 largest entities controlling over 70% of institutional ETH holdings. So remember the top with the 5 largest controlling over 70%. Ethereum Foundation is the single largest holder with 269,000 ETH. It's followed by SharpLink, a Nasdaq-linked gaming company that acquired 176,000 ETH on June the 13th and staked 95% of it. And of course, we'd covered that when it occurred. That took the spot off PulseChain, of course, at number 2. The Nasdaq-listed firm acquired its ETH on June the 13th and it staked 95%. Most recent entrant is Status, an Ethereum messenger and wallet, which acquired 23,000 ETH on June the 19th, worth 2.9 million. And you can see the list there, Ethereum Foundation, then SharpLink, and then PulseChain Sacrifice, or as we like to call it, the PulseChain Strategic ETH Reserve, or something like that. So that is number 3. Then we had Coinbase following, and then Golem after that, Gnosis DAO, US government coming in there, and then Lido. So, PulseChain is still a heavyweight. Obviously, this is, I don't know why they've still got 166, but it's 171,000 ETH. So that's still seems flawed there, but that's what they got there, 166. And other significant holders include Layer 1, a network PulseChain. Yay! Layer 1 network PulseChain makes the news. Yes. So that's pretty cool. Notice US government also holds close to 60,000 ETH, large originating from asset seizures. More firms consider ETH reserves, while Bitcoin remains the leading asset for strategic reserves. Ethereum is attracting growing interest, of course. Michigan's state pension plan made 10 million allocation in Ethereum. Publicly traded companies that hold Ethereum include Bit Digital, BDC, Int Chains Group, and KR1. So they're also followed on that. So the figures come from the ETH Reserve Initiative. Of course, we've covered that many times. So that was kind of cool. PulseChain making crypto.news. Yeah, not bad. That leads us into PulseChain. So we'll get into that too. Let's go back into the mix here. And yeah, we got PulseChain day 769, sitting at quadruple 0246, down 9% today. And at PulseX there, quadruple 02, sitting at down 10.8%. And of course, incentive token there is down 8.59%, sitting at 1.36. Got to exclude the OA there. And yeah, so we're down 8.6% there, $1.36. And Hex there is at half a penny, 8.86%. And of course, as we covered yesterday, PulseChain's been hit by quite a bit of whale activity, exiting funds out of the chain. And of course, yesterday I had a chart up. That chart, we've had probably just on that chart alone, giving timestamp values, very important. It was about $1.6 million leaving the bridge. Plus, we've had a number of whales selling down, PulseX selling down Sun Minimal. So that's just a couple of the big plays that we've seen on the chain, which means that it's a buyer's market, right? When the whales are selling, it's redistribution, and buyers buy, and of course they get a discount. That's pretty much it. At the moment, that's where we are on the market. Let's go to the gas prices. We're sitting at 1.3 million beats, only 1% for a PulseX swap at the moment, so nice and cheap. Looking at the validators, yeah, we're up a little bit. Maybe we're up another 10, 15 from yesterday, something like that. Validators and the bridge, which is kind of the heartbeat check there, $84.9 million. That's where we are at the moment. And I have my snapshot from the 3rd of June still. I probably should do an updated one. So this was, just over 2 weeks ago. Is it? No, 2.5 weeks ago. So 17 days ago. And we were at 92.5 million. We're now at 84.9. So we're down, what's that, 7.6, just over $7.5 million down from 17 days ago. Then total value. Obviously, it's got EHEX in the mix there as well. So that is definitely, and you can see that in the chart. You can feel it in the chart. You can see it in the chart. That's pretty much it. All right, so that is the markets. Let's have a quick look at the volume. We're down at $13.2 million volume. So it's not as low as we've been recently, $8-9 million, but it's still not that high, 13.2 mil. With transactions 248,000 transactions on the chain at the moment. So that's it's okay. Linker at the moment is the top performer, up 868%. We got Soul Sun Minimal. This is a USDC pair, so it's a lot smaller pair, but that is still holding up at 7.5 cents. But the PLS pair is 6.7 cents, so it's quite a bit lower than Soul USDC pair. It is up at 12.9%. Now, we had a bit of a recovery last night. We'll talk about that, but then we had another decent little seller sell down there, some hours ago. BFF is BFF is up 6.7%. Beast is up 4.6%. Remember, so a couple of OG web chefs here, right? Remember is up 3.5% there. Missor is up 1.9%. PMX 500 is up 1.6%. Finvestor up 0.85%. So yeah, we've got quite a few dominance from the OG web chef stuff with Beast, Remember, Missor, Finvestor, etc. That are slightly green. We've got Ink Dollar there, the liquidity fork from Fast Abdul is up 0.5% there. Dominance, another OG web chef token, up a little bit. And then the PGC, the greys, one of the pairs at least is up slightly green. And then we get into the big Sol main pair, the Sol Pulse pair, is at 6.7 cents, and that is up 4% on the last 6 hours, but it's just slightly down from yesterday. So that little rebound. So there was room on the 4-hourly for a rebound, right, with the RSI, but the daily still hasn't reached oversold. So that was the issue there. Now we have another level of 5.7 this wick down here. Because remember when we had these other wicks, right? We keep coming down to the wicks. So We got 5.7 cents now. That's kind of the next level of support, I guess, or at least perhaps the next natural target. The RSI is still not quite done yet, so just take note of that. And the 4 hourly there, 4 hourly also is, even though it's in the oversold territory, we've still got sellers willing to sell at the moment, given the current climate. So obviously we're going to need pick up and good news leading into next week, and the RSI just to chill off a bit there. Not quite done is the way that looks. All right, so that is that. We got Fetch Oracle. Everything else pretty much down at the moment. Obviously with Pulse down and the rest of it in US dollars. So some are, if Pulse is down so much, then quite a few of these are down relatively, not down that much. Or would you say Pulse was 8%? So most of these are probably still up against Pulse. Once we get to about number 50, and then we're probably getting people's ratios are falling against Pulse, depending on their peer, right? Depending on what their peer is. So that is the mark there. Everything else pretty much down. SolidX is a nice little buy right now, $7.89. We're expecting big news coming from that, so that could get a big reversal. Take note of that. And then, Top Hat possibly as well. What else got going on here? So that's pretty much the mark. So not a lot of action on the market, except for some good buy opportunities. That's pretty much all we can say about that. DCAing on that continues to go until we get this mega uptrend that we're waiting for. We got Hex Day in house there. A price prediction for PHEX at the market top, cycle top. Well, all we're going to say is up and to the right, but I will be having a commentary on that coming out soon. So I'm not going to front run that. But that is coming. That's coming. So keep a lookout for that. All right, let's go into some of the news. We did have more whale activity overnight. So 8 billion Pulse, which bridged over. This was 5 hours ago. Was bridged over to Ethereum, and it looks like the same culprit. Kestrel here says, the guy is dumping 14 million in Pulse over on the ETH side. Brace yourselves. So we've still got quite a bit of money still, going out of the bridge. So we're gonna have to wait till that settles down. Hopefully over the weekend, right? Hopefully over the weekend, so we can start next week fresh. That being said, of course, we've still got the geopolitical risk around Iran, right? Not I don't think from American point of view, but just the fallout of that. So it's actually a long time overdue. They need to get rid of the nuclear capabilities in Iran. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on that. That is Pulse Liberty. Now we have got some news, and so this is the good stuff. We're getting into the good stuff now. Obviously the market's a bit demure unless you're buying, which is a good opportunity. But we have a lot of news coming out from some of the teams. So Liberty Finance, of course, one of our new cross-chain bridges, let's so to speak, will be enabling more peers. So at the moment you can do USDC across, I think, Base Chain, BSC chain, I think it's Ethereum, and PulseChain, of course. Those are the ones that you can do. But they will be enabling cross-chain swaps to PulseChain tokens, Pulse as well, PulseX, Inc., DAI, Hex, and Wrapped ETH in 2 days. Isn't that great? So that's great news coming up there. That is a really good service that's operating, and that's going to make it a lot cheaper. You're going to not have so much slippage, depending on how big depending on how big things are, but you're not going to have much slippage there, and you have a little fee to pay. Now that's based on liquidity, right? So they're doing, from the looks of it, they're doing liquidity on both sides and doing swap liquidity with a backup option using Batias APIs, they say. Whether it's PulseX.com or Batias, whichever offers the better rate, we will route orders accordingly to ensure our users always get the best cross-chain deal they deserve. Please bear with us for the next 2 days. So that is really, really exciting news. Kind of cool. And I had this other update 19 hours ago, a temporary update on swap pairs due to slippage control over PulseX router for large orders over 2,000. We temporarily disabled all swap pairs onto PulseChain tokens to optimize swap fees and slippage. Stablecoin cross-chain swaps with fixed rates will remain active. Swapping to PulseX, Inc., DAI, and Wrapped ETH will be re-enabled soon. Thank you for your understanding. So that is the play there at the moment. No users were affected, they say. So that is some of the big news. What else do we have there? 18 hours ago, they had that as well. Our decision today will integrate both PulseX and Batias and route each order through the one offering the better rate for our users. For core coins, Wrapped ETH and eDAI, PulseX offers better rates for smaller buyers, and works well with tokens that have taxes. For large trades over 2,000 tiers, still provides better rates. In short, best rate only. That is coming from the team now. So that is pretty cool news from Liberty Swap Finance. So we're getting more onboarding abilities. We also had some big news here from a KG. So KG is saying we have been testing a new version of Internet Money for many weeks now. This is going to be one of the biggest updates ever. The app is lightning fast in many new areas, and the long-awaited in-app browser on Android and iOS is here. We also that lightning fast is going to be really popular. It's a not really nice wallet. But anything that speeds it up definitely going to be appreciated. Think about how fast Rabby Wallet is to connect to Web3 and things like that. So it's kind of a bit faster on that would be great. We also added support for a new connection method on Chrome that allows you to connect to all dApps. Isn't that cool? That is great. So we're aiming. That is a big deal. That would be very, very welcome. We are aiming for release by the end of this weekend. I'm excited to get this released to everybody. So there we are. That is very exciting stuff. Excellent news. PulseChain. All right, so that is kind of cool. You put the little PLS as well. Why not? Wherever you can, right? Wherever you can. I know not as popular as they used to be, but when in doubt. So that is from Internet Money, and we had some cool stuff from Rack and Michelle coming out, and the highest of stakes. So I have to talk about that, right? Let's zoom in on that a bit. And Rack and Michelle there, the highest of stakes too, coming. Success reveals the truth more than failures ever could. When those closest to you are shocked, it means your vision outgrew their imagination, not your worth. Never stop striving for goals that exceed your ability. Growth lives just beyond your limits. That is the highest of stakes too, Rack and Michelle. That'd be pretty cool if that's the case. So looking forward to something like that from Reckon. That is kind of cool. The biggest whale on PulseChain. And then the other big news we had was Crypto Paradise. Now, I know many of you will probably be keen on this. So I've got to post the link to this in the chat. We've got some more comments in there in the chat first, though, before we read through this. So let's go to that. Whales getting cold feet, says Brennan. Indeed. Big Patient says, how do we feel about King? Well, it's been doing pretty well, isn't it? What else? We got Q Baller in house there. Morning. Good to see a Q Baller as well. Yeah, just remember there's a family channel there, Big Patience. Q Baller's in the house. Good to see Craig. All right, so let's get back into the mix. And we got Crypto Paradise, the big new team that's come over to PulseChain, has got a big competition. The surf buy competition is coming. $10,000 in surf up for grabs. So if you love these competitions, this is something for you. At Crypto Paradise, we are all about helping our loyal community members achieve financial freedom. One of the most successful investment opportunities for surf DAO members has been the Frontier Fund, a hedge fund like trading outfit that just returned 60% in the last 30 days through proprietary leveraged BTC trading strategies. To celebrate the massive success of the Frontier Fund, we are giving up to $10,000 in surf to those who participate in the trading competition. The best part, take your bonus surf from the competition to hit the 400,000 surf holding level in order to qualify for the next round of the Frontier Fund. Surf buy competition details start the 23rd of June at 1600 UTC time. End June the 25th at 1600 UTC time. Buy a minimum of 20,000 surf during the 72-hour window. Get a 10% surf bonus airdrop straight to your wallet. Up to 10,000 in surf rewards available for the community. Stack your surf, secure your spot on the Frontier Fund. See you on the beach. So this team pretty serious about growing, and on to the move. There they go. So that's from Crypto Paradise. I'm going to post the link to that in the chat. So if you want to participate in that surf comp petition, and it's cool to see some of these things coming to PulseChain. So there we go. That is the link there to surf competition there from the Crypto Paradise team. Crushing it as always. All right, so that is the play there at the moment. And man, we have gone through all the news so far. Isn't that crazy? So that was all the cool stuff there. Obviously, markets depressed. We've got geopolitical risks. We've got the whales getting weekends and taking profits and all that sort of stuff. But it creates good buying opportunities for people. And then of course we've got all this cool news. So that all the developer teams are still going, still putting out new releases, still upgrading the chain. The chain essentially being upgraded all the time by all these teams, if you think about it, because the chain is really all the protocols that are really operating on it, right? Really adding all that value, new bridges, new swapping mechanisms, new wallets, new DeFi, new GameFi. This really is what makes the chain, worth something. And so that is the play. Now, next week, of course, we've got bullish news potentially next week and the following week because we've got all the news coming out potentially from Trump, right, on the economic front. However, obviously, we've got the Iranian issue hanging over our heads, which is obviously a very big issue. And we're going to see where that all lands at the moment. Now, as I understand it, Brennan says 2 more weeks. Yeah, well, that might literally be the case. Obviously, we're heading up towards the 4th of July, which is the key date for Trump. So we're going to go to that chart there too, since Brent's brought it up here on the 2 weeks. And that is we are riding through this period, right, where we've got the tariff extensions running through, and then we've also got the 4th of July, which is kind of the deadline for Trump to get a strategy in place. Now, the trade deals, big tax bill, and deregulation or regulation and leverage, depending on which topic you're talking about. Those are the three-legged stool strategy that Trump is running, and that is he wants that all in place pretty much by the 4th of July. With the exception of deregulation leverage, that will take installments as we go forward in time. We're expecting a lot of crypto stuff. Obviously, we just had the Genius Act this week, and we're expecting more stuff around crypto to be slowly dripped out as we move forward in time, particularly by September, October. I think they're doing quite a bit of a crypto review there, and we'll get all that report and possibly policy implications from that later in the year. At the moment, trade deal announcements. Obviously, we're looking for the top 15 countries. We've had, in principle, deal with China. We've had, obviously, the signed deal with the UK, and we're looking for the other sort of 13 top countries in the world, in particular, India, Europe, Japan, South Korea. Those are the sort of countries we're looking for, waiting for deals to be done. And we could get those in the next week or two. So Trump, typically they're trying to line all these up for a big hurrah. It could be next week, could be the week after. Certainly taken longer than we thought they might have had, especially since we found out, 2 weeks ago that they had 3 deals already lined up. Just needed Trump's signature. Now, obviously, they've been, playing a little football with that. So we'll see how that comes on. But the next 2 weeks, we could get quite a few of those trade deals. That being said, they may hold them off even further if they're dealing with this Iran issue. Because obviously, if they're going to, whatever they decide to do with that nuclear bunker, Trump's trying to get a peace outcome, right? Trying to get a full surrender. That way, they can do it without any violence on the site. Now, obviously, that's the outcome that he's trying to get, and we'll see how that goes. Now, apparently, he's approved the plans to bomb the nuclear site, right? That's the really key, the one in the mountain. I think it's called Furlough. I think it's something like that. And he's trying to get that. That's the key, and that's the one that's got all their, they've probably got enrichment going on there and all the rest of it, bomb making. So that's the one that has to be really taken out. So whether he does that via peace or does that via military, we shall see. Now, I understand, I think Khamenei, the Ayatollah, head Ayatollah there, they did try to bomb his house, I think, overnight. So we'll see what happens in that space. That's the leader of Iran. And, of course, Iran has also given over their power to the military, the civil administration, and we'll see what happens in that space. There are quite a few defections happening, obviously, to the king, who's exiled. So we'll see how that goes as well. There's lots of different moving parts. And then, of course, all the people also, what are they going to do? Obviously, 80 plus, maybe even 90% of the people against the regime in Iran, the Ayatollahs, because of their oppression over the last several decades, right, since the 60s or whatever it was when they had the revolution. That is a lot of stuff happening there. But the nuclear risk does need to be solved, and now's the time to do it. So, that may defer on some of these trade announcements. So fingers crossed, maybe next week we get some stuff. If not, maybe the week after. Certainly, the 4th of July is a big deadline. So obviously they want to get the big tax bill through. and we should get a lot of trade announcements. If not next week, then the week after, and hopefully the Iranian issue has been dealt with in the most practical way. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Also, obviously, we've got we talked about the regulation, and we had the Genius Act around stablecoins out that got approved. So that's all moving forward too. So slowly and surely things are happening in the right direction. So 4th of July, we're going to get a big party from Trump, and then of course the golden age of America from July onwards, which means that July, August, September could be that big ramp up that we're expecting if it does not start in the next 2 weeks. So we're getting closer to it for sure. We've got to be in that ballpark. And Bitcoin's holding over $100,000, so that's looking pretty promising at the moment. We got Frank White in house there. Hello from Mexico. What, Hexco? No more missiles, please. No more missiles, indeed. Well, I don't know if Hexco has to worry about missiles, Frank. I think it's quite. At the moment, it's more of a concept, but we appreciate it. We got Brendan in the house there. I'm not sure if peace is on the cards. They will have to carry out what they're going to do in Iran now. We'll have forever war between us. Yeah, look, the nuclear risk is too big, so they have to take out the nuclear sites somehow. They don't just have the nuke option; they have potentially ground operation option as well, and obviously they also have the surrender option. So there are a couple options there that they could take. So we'll see which one lands. But let's hope for peace. Yeah. Well, yeah, peace. What's your view of peace? I guess is getting the Ayatollahs out. That would be the best thing for peace, because as soon as they get back in, they're going to continue on. Right? They don't give up. They're all pretty extremists. So we'll see what happens in that space. The people want to be free too, and so we're going to get a revolution in there. Obviously, revolution typically takes, there's always sacrifice, right? Unfortunately, there's the problem. That's why it's so difficult to overthrow often. So we'll see what happens. There's many things that could happen, and they could all happen at once as well. That's the other thing, right? So we'll see how all that lands. Hopefully, the Iranian people will be free, and the Persians will rise again. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty cool indeed. All right, that is where we are on the chart there. Now let's go to ETH there and have a look at ETH actually, because ETH is it's on the precipice of this golden cross. So ETH is on this precipice. Pretty exciting. This chart looks pretty perfectly constructed, almost, doesn't it? And here we are, so close to a golden cross, and we've got this lovely consolidation here. So yeah, we've got what's the gap now? The gap is $25, which is nothing, right? Nothing. And so we're getting so close to moving to the upside, and maybe the next 2 weeks to get that good news, and up into the right there. But we've got this geopolitical issue is definitely a big deal. So we'll just see how the markets react to that. So far, the markets are holding up pretty well, expecting, because Iran's really performing pretty badly. So they've had most of their leadership taken out, and most of the big sites have been destroyed successively. And I don't think that's going to be, the Israelis are going to keep bombing for at least another week or something, unless. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. See what happens. Let's see whether they decide to do some form of surrender. We'll see. Greece super, says Brennan. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of the play there. We're sitting pretty ready for an ETH golden cross, and then off to the moon. So not bad. So really the highlights there, PulseChain getting onto the crypto.news. That's kind of cool, with the ETH strategic reserve. And we've got hopefully the whales will calm down at the moment, and we'll see PulseChain recover. And so people that are buying now in the next a wee while get some good returns from that buying, taking on the risk reward, right? That is the key in crypto, risk reward, and using your RSI pretty cleverly on that. So that is the play at the moment. Now, if you guys haven't followed me on X, definitely give a follow. We've got some big things coming up from the Crypto Night Show as well. And so check that out. If you haven't checked out the Monster Thread, week number 6 is still out from last week, all the latest news. Definitely check that out. And that's doing pretty good. So a big shout out to our editor-in-chief, MVS Crypto, doing a great job as a promotional lead in the Crypto Night Show, and getting good feedback there. In fact, the Monster Thread has crossed over 100,000 views in that 6 weeks. So it's really doing a great job, and people are really enjoying the news from all over PulseChain's community and ecosystem. So go on amongst the thread. Now, week number 7 is coming up next Monday. So if you're a team out there, you want to get yourself seen, then hit MVS Crypto up or myself, and you can get on the next monster thread coming up for week number 7. And of course, another milestone is that the last one, week number 5, hit over 20,000. So it's growing and growing every week. And so people are hearing all about PulseChain and all the cool people and all the cool things happening both in crypto art and of course cross artwork and all the cool things that make up humanity in the monster thread. It really is an all-in-one there. So it's pretty cool. All right, so that's it. 35 minutes on the show. It's such a short show. I've really covered everything that I was going to cover. There's no stock market today, as far as I know. We have got this holiday here in New Zealand. It's not one that I typically celebrate because it's just made up by socialists. But we've got the day off. That's pretty much it here in New Zealand. It is actually quite sunny, even though it's winter. It's quite sunny outside. Cool wind, of course, but it is sunny outside, making it for a pleasant day. That's for sure. Everyone else, hope you're getting a good time out there. DCA, keep accumulating. We're still in that sort of big scoop up zone, and looking forward to all the pump mentals coming up in the future. Some of those, of course, for the pump mentals are pretty exciting. In fact, should we pull up the PulseChain charts and we've got a bit more time? I'm well ahead. I've never been this early ahead of the PulseChain, of my show. This is crazy. I'm not used to it. So let's jump into the Richard Hart stuff and pull up some of these charts. So let's have a look here. Let's go full mode. So let's have a look here. So this is the chart. Let's bring this up actually. Brendan says thanks for the updates. I'm not quite finished. You can't leave yet, Brendan, because we're going to share this chart. Let's get in there. So this was a chart that I did before all the price stuff happened, and here is the bottom of the range that I had, which was the bear case. So I had 2 bear cases, right? Sort of the base case was here. We hit the base case, and then I had the sort of the worst case, and we're right at the bottom of that. In fact, we're just slightly scooted slightly past it, which is fine because it's kind of where we were, which is at 2,500. And so this has been around. You can see I've had this around since I must have done it here on the 9th of June. And this was the bear case here at the moment. So really need to hold this 2,500 on the pulse. Brendan, what do you think? That is the case, but we have got good support potentially, and the RSI has hit 30, which is kind of the oversold period. I mean, obviously it can go sub 30, but it does seem to be holding at this moment. But we had quite a bit of ruthlessness from the whales leaving and selling down the charts. Obviously, maybe it's a risk off, a risk management. Maybe it's just like I said, could be lots of different things. Buying a Lambo, buying a house, who knows? But that is the play at the moment on there. So we have hit the bottom of that base care, not the base case, but actually the outside case, a beer scenario, which is pretty interesting. So that is the case there, and the upside though was pretty big. So the upside was pretty big, but of course, with the Iranian thing and with the whales, it's we never even got close to getting that bull case, right? Not even the base bull case was at 4,200, and we didn't even get close to that. In fact, after I did the post, we actually had a rally towards that. So we actually were up for 3 days, and we actually got up to 3,600. And we have had higher lows, right? This is the cool structure. We had higher highs and higher lows, but now we've wiped it out. So now we've got a double bottom here in the sense. So if we hold that, now I see that you're talking about 21 on there, Brennan. 21 would take us down to here, which would push us almost back down again. So fingers crossed we don't quite go that low, Brennan. But who knows what the weekend will unfold. We've definitely got the news to push us down that low. But that would also bring back in, potentially if we get to 2,100, that could potentially, if we break that, then we're back down to where we started, back on the all-time lows. That would be quite something to get back down there. Looking at the weekly, so let's have a look at the longer time frame and the weekly, see what that tells us. So weekly, we've still got plenty of room to move back down. So you're quite right. We could go down to 1,600. But let's hopefully we try and hold on to this 25, if not that 2100 that Brennan's talking about would probably be the next level there. But the weekly, still only at 39. So yeah, 39. I mean, if we get down to 21, it's probably going to get us pretty close to 30. So let's hope not there. It's up there. Pretty messy. It's starting to look pretty messy now. If we do, especially if we get down there, a double bottom capitulation before we have that big ramp up to the other side and onto glory. So still obviously extremely bullish about the end of the year, where I feel that we're at that turning point in here. But of course, we've got these extreme, kind of grey swan, black swan events going on, as well as our whales splashing around, making quite a bit of carnage there at the moment, last couple of days. But actually, I'm very, very bullish about where we're heading from here. Fingers crossed, markets gain confidence again soon. Yeah, that's right. 2 more weeks, you said. 2 more weeks. That's the play. All right, so that is where we are with the charts. So buyer's market, DCA. Watch the RSI and get some of the good stuff. So yeah, we got a lot of cool things happening in the ecosystem. Like we talked about with Liberty Finance, with on-ramps, with Internet Money Wallet doing speed upgrades and feature upgrades. So there I got cool stuff. I've got cool teams on PulseChain doing cool giveaways and collaborations like Crypto Paradise. It's exciting times to be on PulseChain. Things are still ramping up. Well, we're still trying to get this chart into the right direction. That's kind of where we are at the moment. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Only 40 minutes. That's the shortest show I've done for some time. It wasn't going to even be shorter. I think it was going to be like 30 minutes. So there we go. 40-minute show. That's how we roll here on the Kryptonite Show. Now, like I say, we've got the Monster Thread coming up for week number 7 coming up Monday. So there will be all the stories from the last week, including up to the Sunday coming up, will be included in that. And that will be out and about. And we've got more stuff coming from the Kryptonite Show. We just had our second X Space on Wednesday. That was really cool. That went really well, and we're going to be ramping that up as well. We made quite a few changes, and we really like where that was heading. And then, of course, we've got some more publications coming, more publications coming from the Kryptonite Show to cover PulseChain's awesomeness as we move forward out of this volatility period and on to greatness once some of these geopolitical risks calm down. And the good things that are happening that Trump's doing so many good things for the markets that's all going to take off. And maybe if we don't get any trade deals in the next 2 weeks, we've still got the tax bill. And then 4th of July really is that key date. So I think Trump's going to have quite a little bit of pressure to get a lot of these things over the line within the next 2 weeks. So keep a lookout for that. Could be, fingers crossed, things go pretty well there. And he is, I think, trying to do his best to get a peaceful outcome. But he may have to definitely nuke that nuclear mountain, as we call it. We'll see what happens in there over the weekend. All right. On that note, hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody. And should we play the videos on the way out? I think we should we? And play our bullish videos, because I still think these are completely relevant. That's kind of where we are in the market. So let's play this first one here from Raoul Paul, the big billionaire. And then we'll play Richard Hart, God Mode Candles, which are coming to a PulseChain near you very soon.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1, the corrective zone, banana number 2 comes, another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021, off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant, you could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.